Well, I guess technology is still one of the big factors we've got to be very much aware of. It's evolving all the time. So the fintechs, mobile phone technology, it's enabling more and more rapid pace of change. And I think how we react to that's a really important part of what bankers have got to be able to address going forward into the future.
I agree, and I think the technology forms part of that external environment in terms of how banks operate. I think the big risk for me at the moment is the external environment. So we look at the uncertainty in the global environment, in the UK environment. The big risk for me is that bankers need to understand those risks, and they need to understand how they impact on their customers, and as a bank and as bankers they need to be able to adapt to those changing risks.
Yeah, so it's one of the big social pressures. We've seen what's happened to our industry over the last decade or so. Trust pretty much eroded. But slowly but surely, we're making the right tracks. We're beginning to get back or regain some of the trust that we did lose. That's going to take time, and undoubtedly, customers will remember what happened for a long number of years. But things like chartered banker examinations and the professionalism that we're trying to reinstate into this industry will serve a part of recouping some of those lost grounds.
Yeah, and I think a relationship between a banker and a customer is no different to a personal relationship. It requires time, it requires effort, it requires trust, and customers at the end of the day need banks, banks need customers. So that's a kind of symbiotic relationship, and for a customer who wants to borrow money, sitting opposite somebody who makes an effort with them, understands their business, tries to understand the key areas, goes a long way to building that relationship and that trust back.
So I reckon there'll be some washout of fintechs at some point. So I don't think all will remain. I think there'll be some strategic alliances, some joint ventures. There'll be some failures. Any new innovative business will go through this initial high investment into research and development to bring a product to market, and then there'll be a shakeout. When the shakeout happens, a few will remain, and I think that's the interesting horizon that we're at now. We're going to see what's going to happen with those.
I think for me it's the human side. I think we talk about emotional intelligence. I think it's moving away from just simply analysing balance sheets, looking at businesses, but understanding management and understanding the pressures management face, understanding the type of people you're lending to. So I think those softer skills will be much more in demand and take much longer to develop.